Is a return of 12.2% a worthwhile return for an investment of $500,000? Everybody is now talking about the I&M Corporate Bond, but is it a smart investment? Or people are just chasing numbers, understanding the reality? In today's video, we are going to deep dive into the reality of this corporate bond. By the end of the video, you'll be able to decide whether this corporate bond is for you. Of course, if you have an emergency fund in place, if you have some level of liquidity, and if you have at least $500,000 to invest, because the minimum investment is $500,000, that is 500,000 Kenya shillings. Hello, good people. Hope you're doing well. Jesse is my name, and this is the Money and Growth Circle, where we are working towards financial peace and ultimately financial freedom. If this is your kind of content, you can join the circle. Let's get to the video. What are they actually selling? This is a corporate bond by I&M Bank. So let's first understand the I&M returns in the last 5 years. First, we start in 2021. They made between 11 and 12 billion. 2022, 14 to 15 billion. 2023, 16 to 17 billion. 2024, 16 billion. 2025, 19.8 billion. That automatically tells us that I&M is a profit-making company. So as you get in, you can see over time it's more or less stable with a reasonable level of growth. The second thing, we need to check whether I&M actually pays dividends, as it's already listed in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. From the records, the last 5 years, they have paid dividends. In 2021, 2.25 per share, 2022, 2.55, 2023, the same as 2022, 2024, 3 shillings, 2025, 3.75. Not significant, but at least they show some level of consistency in paying dividends. This shows a strong signal of financial stability. Okay, let's now get into this corporate bond. By purchasing this corporate bond, you'll be lending money to I&M Bank to invest, and in return, you get 12.2% per annum. And this is gross, which means it is subject to tax at 15%. So in total, the return you'll be getting will be 10.3%. They're offering 10 billion, and of course they're willing to go an extra mile, maybe to get to 13 billion if it is oversubscribed. The minimum investment is 500,000 and the tenor is 5.5 years. From an investor perspective, you can see this bank has some level of financial stability, thus giving you some comfort. Let's get to the numbers. We have already seen that they have financial stability, as investors who are already invested in I&M Bank are getting something in return in terms of dividends, and they have been consistent for the past 5 years, giving you some level of comfort that this is a strong institution. The hope is that it continues being stronger and sustainable. So, for instance, if you invest 1 million, the minimum is 500. But if you invest 1 million, you get returns of 122,000. Then when the returns are taxed, you're going to be getting 103,000. So the headline is that it is giving 12.2%, but the actual that you take home is 10.3%. Let's see what is currently happening in the market. The government bonds are giving you between 12% to 13%, and they are less riskier. They have a lower risk than corporate bonds. So ideally, by purchasing this bond, you will be taking a higher risk with lesser returns. The other bonds in the market include Safaricom at 10.4%, East Africa Breweries at 11.8%, and therefore, this is not a growth investment, but a capital preservation investment. Remember, we have said time and time again, you don't always have to invest in high risk investments and high returns investments. Some investments are good to preserve your capital, and this could be one of them. Like we have seen, I&M is a bit stable, giving you some level of comfort for growth of your capital, and in turn, you will be getting your returns. And the returns are stated, so you're getting in knowing very well what to expect, more or less like a fixed income. So let's understand the risks that come with such a bond. The bond is not risk-free, of course, so if the bank struggles, you feel it. If the interest rates go high, your bond value drops, and if you sell it when the value has dropped, you lose part of your investment. It is not highly liquid, so if you need liquidity within a short time, this is not for you, because you might want to sell, but you're not getting a ready buyer. The next one is the entry barrier, whereby you can only invest a minimum of 500,000. So if you don't have 500,000 over and above your emergency fund, and this should not be your basic investment, then it means you have been automatically locked out. This bond is not for everybody, and these are the people who should consider investing in this bond. If you have 500,000 sitting idle and it does not form part of your emergency fund, if you want predictable income and you have at least the 500,000 to invest, if you already have an emergency fund in place and your liquidity fund elsewhere, this corporate bond is not for you if you want fast growth. You need flexibility. You're still building your first investments. Final verdict. Let's be honest. This bond is stable and predictable, but it is not exciting because of the low returns. It's also not a wealth multiplier. This is not where you build your wealth. This is where you protect it. So the corporate bond was opened on 30th April 2026 and will close on 15th May 2026. So if you want to invest, you have until 15th May to invest. The allotment will be done on the 18th of May 2026, and it will be listed in the Nairobi Securities Exchange on 21st May 2026. The most important things you also need to note is that if it is oversubscribed, it can close early, so don't delay in taking the decision as to whether to invest or not. However, if you miss this opportunity, perhaps you may get it in the secondary market at a later date, and of course at a different price. So let's look at a few things that would give an investor some level of comfort to invest in the I&M corporate bond. What is strong with I&M? Consistent growth over the last 5 years, no major losses during tough cycles, strong balance sheet expansion, customer deposits growing. What's slightly concerning? The income from loan declined in 2025. Credit risk, the cost of running the business increasing. Translation of this, the strength and the weakness is that growth is strong, but quality of earnings is shifting. What has the last 5 years proved? Strong profitability, consistent growth over 10% annually. Earnings cover bond payments comfortably. This is not a high growth story. It is a stable, maturing bank. That is why they can actually issue a corporate bond and pay predictable income. So let me know in the comment section, is this an investment that you would consider? And if you're considering it, what do you think? If you're debating about getting into it, I hope this video has given you some enlightenment that will assist you in making the decision. Let me know in the comment section if you have decided to invest in the corporate bond, and if you're wondering whether to invest and now you have finally made the decision. I'm watching to see how this subscription will happen so that we also get to see the Kenyan market maturing in the world of corporate bond. They have not been very popular and people have also been skeptical getting into them. So this would also add to the just having a feel of what investors are embracing at the moment, and it has also put us to the test of time as to how many people can actually afford to invest in this corporate bond. We'll be watching as to how this corporate bond goes, and we will keep you posted as to the outcome and also how the Kenyan market is responding to these corporate bonds. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new, kindly consider subscribing. If you're returning, thank you so much for always coming back to watch our videos. See you on the next one. Bye.